Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum. You are watching Sports Extra, and I'm your host, Ahmed Nawaz, with the latest roundup of sports today. Let's take a look at what we're discussing, and then we'll come back with the details. First of all, we've got to start from the big news from the world of tennis. The queen of tennis, of course, the reigning queen, has called it curtains on her career. Serena Williams has officially announced her retirement from the world of tennis. Of course, she had been struggling with form as well, and of course, injuries have been part of the career, but she's dominated women's tennis in style, hasn't she? There has hardly been anyone who's not actually been a fan of Serena Williams and what she's achieved throughout her career. It's been absolutely superb. I think a lot of tribute to Serena Williams after taking a maternity leave with the birth of her daughter, then coming back and performing exceptionally well. She's been a true queen of tennis. So I think congratulations to her. The 40-year-old holds 23 Grand Slam titles. And of course, she said that after the US Open, which will be her last tournament that begins on the 29th of August, that will be it. So I think a big tribute and a shout out to Serena Williams and the fabulous, fantastic career that she's had and inspired generations in women's tennis as well. Moving on, the Asia Cup, we'll talk about cricket. Is going to begin on the 27th in the UAE. Pakistan is going to face arch rivals India on the 28th of August. India have announced their squad for the Asia Cup, and Virat Kohli is returning while Jasprit Bumrah is out with an injury. Ravichandra Ashwin is also part of this squad as well. India really look potent. They're very good as far as the form is concerned. Relatively, they're enjoying their time against the West Indies. They've had a great series against other teams as well. So they look in prime touch for the Asia Cup. And obviously, after the World Cup, Pakistan and India are meeting. It's only ICC events or the Asia Cup where we see Pakistan rarely against India. Pakistan squad has already been announced, so India really want to take revenge of that World Cup, don't they? But it's going to be a cracker on the 28th of August at Dubai when Pakistan takes on India. Of course, moving on, the Pakistan Cricket Board has finalized venues for the Pakistan versus England Test Series. Karachi, Rawalpindi, and Multan is going to host a Test Series. England is going to face Pakistan in a seven-match T20 series next month. T20 matches will be played in Karachi and Lahore. So I think it's a great omen that we've got a complete series as far as this entire prospect of England coming to Pakistan is concerned as well. That's the lineup that we've got. Starting off, first of all, with the Queen of Tennis, Serena Williams, after the US Open. She's going to retire from the world of tennis. We've got a report on that. Let's take a look and then come back.
This is you. This is Moses. Very back in. Lean into it.
American tennis star Serena Williams, one of the all-time greats of the sport, is retiring from playing tennis after US Open. Williams said she has made the decision because she wants to focus on her family life and growing her venture capital firm, Serena Ventures. During a recent article which she penned for an international magazine, the 23 times Grand Slam winner noted that she never liked the word retirement and would rather put forward her next move as evolution. Williams is the most successful female tennis player of the Open era and the second most successful of all time, having won 23 Grand Slam titles. Throughout her illustrious career, she has claimed 73 singles titles, including 23 Grand Slam trophies, won the last one at Australia Open before taking her maternity break in 2017. Since her return to the sport in the following year, Williams has reached the finals of Grand Slams 4 times, however fell short to equal the record held by Margaret Court in tennis history with 24 majors. Now that she has announced to play for the one last time later this month in the US Open, Williams has one last chance to get herself the greatest of all time title to
Well, there you have it. What a fantastic career for Serena Williams. All these many Grand Slams, and I think 40-year-old now, and still giving it all is something remarkable and phenomenal. And I've often said this that we're seeing the next gen of female tennis players in women's tennis, but none are going to match the resilience of Serena Williams, that class, that consistency, especially that she's been able to achieve over the years in those 23 Grand Slams is something I don't think will ever be matched. We've had champions, but we haven't had consistent champions. So the Queen of Tennis will always be Serena Williams, and a big tribute to her. And all looking forward to the U.S. Open, which will be her final, tennis tournament, and then she'll call it curtains on her career. Now coming to the Asia Cup, Pakistan is going to take on India on the 28th of August. India has announced their squad as well. The Asia Cup begins on the 27th in the UAE, and Indian squad is looking very, very strong. They've got Virat Kohli in there as well. Ravichandra Ashwin is going to be making a comeback, but the big blow for them is that Jasprit Bumrah is out of the Asia Cup due to injury. We'll discuss this further, and we've been joined in studios by former Test cricketer, ICC match referee, part of the PCB management every now and then, Colonel retired Noshad Ali. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Asia Cup, we in the previous shows discussed the history with you as well and knew everything. But now looking at this India squad with Virat Kohli still in there, India is enjoying great form, and then of course bringing back Ashwin on those kinds of wickets. How do you see the approach from the Indian cricket side?
Well, I think Indian has made a good decision. I mean, considering the conditions in UAE, considering the conditions in Pakistan, is a pretty good team now. They have all youngsters in the Pakistan team. They are doing so well. So they have made a good decision after a long deliberation between the selectors, the management, and of course the senior cricketers. And they have a team which is combination of youth and as well as the experience. Rohit Sharma, rightly so, is leading the side, and so is Virat Kohli being part of it now. But I think that overall this should be a good, strong competition between Pakistan and India facing each other on the very first match. Dubai pitch, of course, as you know, there is not a pitch where if you have a day and night game, I mean, a long score, hardly somebody has qualified over 200 runs. But this should be a good chance for the Indians to build up a total and give a target to Pakistan, vice versa for Pakistan as well. As far as Pakistan is concerned, yes, Babar Azam and company, they are in good form, they are in good arrangements, they have got their batting order settled, they have got their bowling settled as well, but the only thing they need to click at the right time. And I'm pretty sure the Pakistanis are quite capable, can do that as well.
Definitely. Now, sir, I think very important question comes here that Pakistan and India only meet in the World Cup, in ICC events particularly, and then a rare occasion when we're meeting in the Asia Cup as well. Now, if you have bilateral series between teams, they get used to certain players, the environment and everything. But because for Pakistan, India, the stakes are very high because of regional dynamics already. One, that included, and then the added pressure of not having faced each other apart from ICC events. Does that make the game even more at a high stakes as far as the pressure is concerned?
Yes, Pakistan and India, of course, I mean, it's a pretty good open for them to play against each other apart from the arranged series by the ICC. If they have a mutual series between Pakistan and India, then certainly there will be a lot of interest between the two crowds. There will be a lot of interest. There will be long duration of the matches. Like we have say, if we have some arrangement for the T20, something for the ODI, and if they have a chance to play the Test match, nothing like it. So this should be arranged series, and then that will give them enough time to preparation for both the teams, the players, the management, and of course the venues where they could be played. And I'm pretty sure that India-Pakistan crowd, they will be crazy when they will see the Pakistan playing India or in the venues, whether it is in India or it is in Pakistan. And of course, if you look the other point of view as well, it will be a financial boom for the both countries, particularly for Pakistan as well.
Definitely, that is the case. Now, to talk about this further, we've been joined on Sports Extra by cricket coach and expert Syed Mohammad Awais. Awais, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I hope you're doing good.
Doing good, alhamdulillah. Awais, Asia Cup, India has announced their squad. We already discussed Pakistan's squad earlier in the week as well. How do you see the squad, particularly with the fact that they're maintaining Virat Kohli and they've also added Ravichandra Ashwin? And also, I think the biggest news right now is that Bumrah is out of the Asia.
It's a big blow for them because Burma has been one of the major parts of Indian team, and he has been the backbone of the death bowling overs for India. Unfortunately, due to injury, he's no more part of the Indian team, and that's a big blow for them. But particularly looking at the UAE wickets, and because since it's a spinning track, you need to have spin bowling option. It's a good time to get Ashwin back in the squad because you need experienced campaigners over here because you need to know one thing that this Asia Cup is really important for you because you have got the World T20 lined up. So it's a great. I would say Virat Kohli specifically. I would say that's a big fish again. I know he hasn't been performing well consistently well. India has been sticking around with him, but now I really think so that he needs to perform well to be as a permanent part of Indian squad because he's one of the guys who has never been out of the Indian team. But a couple of series we have seen that he hasn't been performing well.
But Colonel Sahab, India's cricketing dynamics are very important to understand. The structure is so strong that it can never rely on one player. Even in the era of Sachin or even in the era of Virat Kohli or MSD in particular, even right now when we see Virat Kohli's form struggling, the structure is so strong that these new youngsters, including Surya Kumar Yadav, including Rishabh Pant, including
Yeah.
everybody who's taken over, can still perform and lift the side up.
Well, you are absolutely right. The time has come for India. I mean, they have made the changes, and there's a certain changes. Like you see, we take the example of Dhoni. I mean, he has been replaced by somebody who was a youngster when Dhoni was getting out, and now he is a settled wicketkeeper batsman, one of the finest wicketkeeper batsmen in the world. So these replacements are getting successful. The reason why the Indian are doing and why these results are coming so well. The simple is there's a lot of cricket for India. I mean, at the first class level, grassroots level, and then IPL level as well, where they have the chance to test their youngsters to ensure that they gradually come up, and they are coming up very well. And examples are quite a few on that. So I think Indians are doing well. They have now their team, which is combination of the youngsters and the experienced one as well. And I'm pretty sure that by the time this main tournament, the World Cup, the T20 World Cup, they come around, they will have sufficient number of youngsters in the team who are improvisers, who know the improvisation, who know the basics of technical of the current day cricket, and they can do well for India in the World Cup as well.
Well, Aves, the fact is that there is a new approach now that we see from the Indian cricket team, and Rohit Sharma against the series in against West Indies, in a interview also said that we talked to the boys. I talked to Rahul Dravid as well, and we wanted to implement a new vision in the Indian cricket team. And I think the highlight of it is playing fearless cricket. Uh, and that's what we've seen in the recent series as well, that they're going after everything. There is no backward approach now or defensive approach from this new Indian side.
Ahmed, one thing is good. I mean, looking at the Indian side, they have I would say positive intent to play aggressive cricket. If you just watch out the recent concluded series, they have played aggressive cricket over there. Unfortunately, just one link, Virat Kohli, he needs to perform for them because he's the powerhouse for India who has been performing, who has been lifting up the team in the bad and the good times. So he will be the main, I would say, person who everyone will have an eye catch over here because everyone knows he's one of the world-class batsmen. Unfortunately, he hasn't been performing well, but Rohit Sharma, he's a totally changed batsman. But remember one thing, Pakistani bowlers have really been good against Rohit.
So obviously we have the upper hand this time for the very first time. Colonel Saab, do you also believe that throughout the history of Pakistan-India cricket in major ICC events, we could not beat them, but we've been able to answer that question. And since that time, last year in the T20 World Cup, Pakistan looks a more confident side going against India in any format.
Come again, please. I'm sorry.
Sir,
Come again,
I'm saying
please,
that
Ahmed.
Pakistan, do you think Pakistan looks more confident now against India after beating them in the World Cup?
Well, I think, of course, Pakistan should be. Why not? Pakistan certainly has got a side now, which is youngsters like Rizwan. Then we have Shaheen Afridi. Then you have the captain. I mean, captain is a classical example of world-class cricketer. Then he's also a complete leader now. So when Pakistan has got so much of cricketers coming in, and then there are quite a few youngsters apart from these three, four, that they have made a team which is good in all three departments of the game. You take it bowling, you can take it batting, or you take it fielding as well. So Pakistan has an improved fielding side as well, and I'm pretty sure that the way Pakistan has been doing well, and they have made a combination, I mean, which can be counted on the finger from the batting lineup point of view, from the bowling lineup point of view. They are pretty sure they are more confident and more strong, and they have gotten chances to beat India and to dictate India in any part of the world.
Definitely. Wes, India looks in pressure for the very first time. People have also been taking it to social media, gauging their advertisement for the Asia Cup and the change in that rhetoric as well.
Yeah, I mean, see, India has been under pressure because, look, whenever the series, specifically Asia Cup, I mean, it's one of the World Cup of Asia, and whenever Asia Cup has been played on, it's one of the, I would say, a pressure game the every world wants to watch Pakistan versus India. India has been a little bit under pressure because the combination hasn't been clicking up for them. I know they have played positive cricket, but again, like I told you, the main character, he needs to step up over here. Virat Kohli, again, I'll tell. But it would be interesting to watch what Pakistan, this team which has been selected on, because there was a debate for Shoaib Malik that he had to be in the middle order if Tafar has been included in the side of Shoaib Malik. Everyone has been debating about it, but I personally feel again so that yes, you had to have Shoaib Malik because he's one of the senior campaigners who knows how to handle your middle order and down the order. And would be great, I mean, because this series would actually, Asia Cup will help you to get yourself ready for the World T20 coming up, and the best squad what you can prepare for the World T20.
Well, I think we talk about so many players and so many individuals in both sides, but particularly for Pakistan, Colonel Saab, I want to know how well Khushdil Shah fits into the team, because that question of having a power hitter in the end, having a good fielder, having somebody who can perform with the ball if needed as well, and we've all seen his ability to finish games as well.
Well, that's a one thing. I mean, I wanted to answer that Khushdil Shah. I mean, a few years back, about 4 years back, I watched him in the Pindi Stadium playing the T20 Pakistan T20 cricket, and the way he was hitting so easily, his free movement of the arms and free movement of the shoulders, it looks that he is a natural hitter, power hitter, and he exhibited so. And then it was in that particular tournament where KPK, I mean, they beat probably Sindh in that tournament, and then they qualified for the finals. Khushdil Shah stood on one side. His average was about more than 200. And from that day I saw him that he is not looking back, he is coming up all the time. Look at his batting, then of course recently what he has particularly developed is slow spinning bowling. I mean, he is the one who is a low trajectory bowler, where he wants batsmen to come out of the crease and play short, and then he has done some clever changes of the pace and clever changes of the flight as well, where he traps the batsman mid on, mid off, and long on, long off as well. And apart from that, he is a brilliant fielder. I mean, if you are not playing him in the first 11, he could be an ideal 12th man for the team. If he is in the team, he can cover up of that 2 or 3 positions single-handedly. He is a good find. He is an excellent cricketer, and he should be looked after for the future assignments as well.
Sir, the dynamics of T20 cricket have changed a lot as far as bowling is concerned. Now, it's not just about taking wickets, but you need bowlers who can probably bowl economically well. And when we say economically, you want to dry out the boundaries as much as you can.
So for me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Serena Shah.
Yes, of course. it has changed. I mean, there was a time when the T20 started in the international game. It used to be a regular fast bowler coming up and then bowling 2 over each, and then spinners coming up. But that is all changed now. It is according to the requirements of the spinner requirement. Looking at the batsman as well. What sort of batsman is he? And then you see most of the team in the world, particularly in the T20, they start straight away with a left arm leg spinner, or even if you have a spinner, then who can push the ball into the air, not just flighting and giving a chance for the batsman to come out and hit over the head as well. So I think economic bowling, and particularly keeping a score about 4 and 5 in the first few overs, say in the first 6 overs, that is the aim of where spinners can do a lot, that they are doing a lot. But after that, when the 6 overs are off, or even 4 overs are off, the captain preferred to go for the seamers if that's a requirement for that. And I think the pitches, the way it is made now, the spinners do play a dominant role, particularly in the T20 cricket.
Definitely. Aves, as a coach yourself and somebody who's been working with young bowlers, what do you advise them as far as the format of T20 is concerned? Obviously, like I said, now the priority is to be as economical as you can and dry out boundaries.
See, Ahmed, it's unfortunate that due to many leagues around the world, the youngsters, they don't focus much on playing for the national side. They go for on that. And secondly, the biggest flaw what I see is now due to I would say in the ICC rules, the bowlers, specifically the fast bowlers, they didn't really need to be handled well because because there's.
Right, we're having some technical difficulties. We'll try to get Aves back online with us as well. But the fact is that the 27th of this month, the Asia Cup starts in the UAE. Pakistan take on India on the 28th at the Dubai Cricket Stadium. It's going to be an extravaganza. Pakistan-India game is always a big game, a high-intensity game, and we're all waiting for that. The squads have been announced, and let's see how the game progresses. But Pakistan, for once, look in a very better position than India. Moving on now, the Pakistan Cricket Board has announced a schedule for the England Test Series and has announced the venues as well. The Pindi Cricket Stadium, Multan and Karachi will be hosting these games as well. Now, Colonel Saab, first of all, I want our viewers to understand how these dynamics of touring sites proceed now. Obviously, we have a security delegation visiting first. So what would you like to tell us about that?
Well, I think it's a very, very important series as from the Pakistan's point of view. It's a sort of complete revival of the international games in Pakistan, and then playing the test matches, playing the ODIs, and then coming and inspecting the inspection. I'm pretty sure that the conditions in Pakistan are not so bad. They are very encouraging, and I'm pretty sure that whichever delegation, security delegation they come, they should be pretty satisfied with the conditions in Pakistan, because quite a few teams has come, they have played, they have enjoyed, and of course they went around to see the city as well, so there should not be any problem. As far as the ground is concerned, well, of course, I think the Pakistan government, the Pakistan security agency, the local cricket board and everybody, they gave their 100% to ensure that the test match is played in the best spirit of the game and for the security for the players as well. Even you see in the COVID period when the matches were played in Pakistan, it wasn't so bad for the Pakistan's point of view that the players came and they were not very much involved in COVID problems. Certain cases were there, but of course that's in any part of the world. Now they're coming here, playing in Pindi and of course in Multan, the test matches, that will be very, very important, and of course the playing in the ODI as well, that will also be beneficial for the Pakistan if the tour went well and everything goes well. And then from the cricketing point of view, from the security point of view, I'm pretty sure there will be nobody to say that we cannot go to Pakistan because of the security reasons.
Well, sir, it's great to see that we've added another venue after Pindi, Karachi, and Lahore. We're now moving to Multan in major of the series. West Indies played there as well. Now England will be playing there. So it's a good omen. What would you like to say about these venues and increasing the number of venues we have? We already have infrastructures available throughout the country. All we need to do is probably renovate and revamp them.
Yes, that should be done. I mean, it has been long overdue. I mean, Multan Stadium, I'm just talking about, I've been following in for quite some time. It used to be inside the city, the jumbled up place, then matches were played there. Then all of a sudden this stadium come up, and it was so very well organized that all sort of national and international facilities were available within the stadium. So many teams came, Indians came, the English team came. They all were pretty satisfied with the conditions provided at the stadium. Though the stadium was a little away from the city, but at least when the matches were played and everything was organized, the transport was organized, the food was organized, the stadiums were almost full to the capacity, and then that indicated that the Multan crowd, Multanis, they want to watch the international cricket, and I'm sure that Pakistan, this is the time for Pakistan Cricket Board, time for the stadium authorities to look for and see for that what sort is lacking in the stadium, whether it is a media, whether it is dressing room, whether it is pitches, or whether it is the parking or security aspects. But from the cricketing point of view, the dressing room should be A1 in all sort of thing. You see, when the match finishes and then the players are taken up for the interview, they should be taken in a very good atmosphere where they can speak freely, not being interrupted by the crowd or anybody else. So one thing is in Multan Stadium that the media box is on the other side of the ground, although that's a very big question to shift it or to bring it somewhere else, but somebody should think it over and ensure that the player have not to walk after playing 5.5 hours or 6 hours to go around the stadium and then give their interview, and even for that matter the crowd, the crew of the TV as well. Yes,
But sir,
and
the
I'm sure
dynamics
that
of the series
with
have
these
been
matches
changing as
coming
well.
up, there is a good chance for the authorities to improve the infrastructure in all cities. Even Gaddafi Stadium, even the National Stadium, Karachi, the Pindi Stadium, they should all be brushed up. They should all be bring to up to date with the requirements for the international cricket as well.
But sir, looking at the T20 series, we've got seven T20 matches. Now it's astonishing. I want to see more cricket, but then of course having seven T20s in a series is really interesting.
Well, I think the time for the T20 is there. Even if you talk a little bit detail as well, if you look at the players' career also, they want to play more T20s as compared to the Test matches. Anyway, this is one of the things that is coming up in the international level as well, where the player they can make more money, they go on their side, and this could be one of the reasons that 4 T20s are played in Karachi and 3 T20s will be played in Lahore. That of course is there, but certainly the T20 is more attractive, more impressive, more fast, and then the crowd wants to watch it and come onto the ground and enjoy the facilities as well. So I think T20, main aim of the T20 is to ensure that the team coming up from abroad, they have some sort of the guarantee money as well, they are given according to the requirements as well. But 7 T20s playing at Lahore and Karachi on the similar pitches, of course that will be a little bit of easy for the two teams playing on that particular days as well.
Well, it's very interesting because if you look back in history, when one-day cricket came in and Gary Packer introduced the entire new system, people started saying that Test cricket will not be given importance anymore, but that importance stayed. Now, when T20 came in, people again made the claims that people are going to move away from Test cricket. I know the commercial focus, of course, shifted, but still, Test cricket has the same importance and the same amount of viewership, and the sacredness of the game still remains there.
Absolutely right. I still remember Kerry Packer's time when he threw up money like anything, and then invited all prominent cricketers of the world, including Pakistan. There were quite a few cricketers like Majid, like Zahir Abbas, Mushtaq Mohammed. They all went and joined they used to call it Kerry Packer Circus. Because in those days the cricket was considered to be a gentleman's game, the white kid, with manners and everything. And the headquarters was naturally at London, Lords. But Australians, they tried to change it. Kerry Packer, being a businessman, business tycoon, tried to change it as well. And he was the owner of a TV channel as well. So he ensured that there are some basic changes like color of the clothing, like color of the kit as well, and then of course the shortened version of the game, and along with that there were quite a few introductions as well, the restrictions in the field, restrictions in the placement of the batsman as well. So that all was done, and although initially it looks as if something different is being done, but after that people start using it so much that they started liking it as well. And then the time came when people thought that this T20, this ODI cricket 50 over game will take over the test cricket, but it doesn't happen. Why it doesn't happen? Because the test cricket, being a 5-day game, having played 90 overs a day, but continuously playing for the 5 days, that still has got some sort of inside that the people want to go and watch. And those who understand the real cricket, they enjoy each and every delivery of the test cricket when it is really going to be a tough competition between the two professional teams.
Definitely, and that being the case, it's going to be a complete tour that we witness between Pakistan and England, and a lot of cricket coming our way. But hopefully, things go as they're planned and in a well manner as well. Now, moving on, yesterday, sad news came from the world of cricket, and sad news because you grow up with these certain names watching cricket, and each one of them is special to the game itself. Rudy Kurtzen, ICC former elite panel of umpires, passed away at the age of 73. He was returning to his home in Cape Town, coming from a golf tournament, had a road accident, and unfortunately passed away playing cricket as a league cricketer for South Africa while he was a clerk with South African Railways, starting his umpiring career in 1981, retiring in 2010, having umpired 108 test matches, 209 ODIs, and 14 T20s as well. It's a sad day for the world of cricket. And of course, our thoughts and prayers for the Kurtzen family and everybody involved, and we offer our dear condolences as well. Colonel Shad Saab, sir, what would you like to add about Rudy Kurtzen? Of course, you've also been part of that structure as a match referee as well.
Yes, of course, Ahmed, that's all right. I was match referee with him. I did my first match that was played between New Zealand and South Africa at New Zealand and South Africa, in South Africa, and in that match, Rudy Kurtzen was the umpire. So, if you look at the life of the Rudy Kurtzen, he was a very tough guy, professional guy. He basically was from Holland, and then his family came from Netherlands and settled in South Africa, and then he picked up the cricket. Although there are not many cricketers who are from Holland in South Africa, they are mainly from England or Australia, but this fellow did extremely well. He was a shrewd umpire. He knew all the players. He used to study the players before the start of the game, and to ensure that if somebody which player to be watched more and which player not to be watched more. I mean, he was one of those professional guy and a very jolly guy. He used to enjoy his cricket, enjoy his game, and I did with him 3 series. That was once New Zealand versus South Africa, then we had one Zimbabwe versus England, and then the third series was in Australia, that was under 19 World Cup as well. So really enjoyed his company. He was a great companion, and he used to be part of the family, as far as we used to call it the referee and umpires collaboration, and he used to be one of the active member on that. He has a lot of knowledge for the game of cricket, and you can see that he did more than 100 test matches as well. So I think we will miss him. We are sad part of it. He was a real cricket umpire who used to be an sort of example for the youngsters who are coming into the game of cricket as an umpire, and then we will remember him. I wish him to thoroughly condole his death, and I'm pretty sure that the ICC and South African Cricket Board will remember him all the time.
Definitely. I think the world of cricket will remember that slow finger that came up and signaled that dismissal. It was absolutely iconic to watch. Colonel Saab, thank you very much, sir, for being on the show. Always a pleasure having you on board. That wraps it up for this edition of Sports Extra. From me and the entire team, until next time, it's goodbye for now.